we were getting ready for this game instead of talking about how lonely I'm gonna be during Christmas, but who cares? We got Main Street with two of the biggest titans of Tableturf history duking it out right here, right now. I'm excited. This is gonna be a good time. Neither of these players need introduction, but for anybody curious, Player 1 is absolutely one of the best Tableturf players of all time, has been around longer than I have, and has consistently just gotten results and displayed godly levels of skills. Aaron is Player 1 for a reason, and you best respect that. On the other end, we've got Ljovynn, the Titan, the God, the GOAT. This player has won more tournaments than you've probably watched. Also has a little bit of a history with Smash Brothers recently and has been doing pretty good in that. So make sure to check out Ljovynn's streams and stuff. Same name right there on twitch.tv. Or I think that's where he streams. But yeah, no, like, Ljovynn is known as the player to beat. Seed 1 in this tournament. Consistently unstoppable. Like, players have been catching up a little bit recently, which means that things are just a little more interesting going into this. But time and time again, Ljovynn has been the winner of Diamond Brackets, TBOs, you name it, Ljovynn has a title in that. And I think Aaron is looking to have this big one be his final title, or anything along those lines. This is a big one to try to fight for. This is number 8, my personal favorite number. You want to go all out for this. And I can imagine that Aaron is going to be pulling all the stops to see that victory is his, with excellent catches like that. Ljovynn going in for a very strong defense there. Like, don't get me wrong, that was a very good amount of points for Aaron. Destroyed an Inkjet, which is one of Ljovynn's final 312s, and got the point advantage for it. Yes, that is worth noting as well. Ljovynn builds like the best decks in this game. Also has followed a lot of the Japan scene and gets a lot of his inspiration from there. But yeah, no, despite that excellent catch and Aaron getting a lot of points, the fact that it's just that little bit longer on both ends means that that card actually got blockaded, which is hilarious to me. Current board state, Ljovynn is in the disadvantage by 15 points, does have 2 special leads, but in comes the special, out comes the end parry splat dualies. Aaron gains a few more points, is bricked in the worst time, as Ljovynn now has a beautiful in with one of my favorite cards, the Angle Shooter. And is likely looking to cause some serious disruption with this ballpoint splatling. Getting a special in as well, just icing off the cake. Excellent play for this splat bomb, getting the special refund and getting another special, doing some damage and getting some more reach. Aaron is not out of this, continuing to try to press. I don't know what play he can really make off of this, but it is a perfectly serviceable move. Actually, I feel like there's a better setup that he could have done. Oh, never mind. I'm very mistaken. I didn't realize that our little friend there can actually slippery slide right into that position, giving Aaron another snuggly 10 points. As we're moving into the final couple of rounds, looking at, we've got a 312 for Aaron and a bunch of smaller cards that are more expensive. Oh no, he's got 2 312s. So he can pop, if he can make his special grant 2 specials on this next turn, which both of those 2 cards actually have a semi-decent amount of positions and options to be able to do that, Aaron might have this locked. He's got a 12-point lead. That's the 2 specials I was talking about right there. Gets him 10 points and takes away 6 from, or about 5 from Ljovynn. So 16 isn't a super good zip caster, but it's perfectly serviceable. But the important thing is he's getting 2 special off of this. Which means that no matter what Ljovynn does here, he can't keep up, he doesn't have control, and the first game will go to AaronIsP player 1. Excellent showing, excellent start here. Putting him on the front wheel, putting that pedal to the metal here, and getting a very strong start. Very needed against a player like Ljovynn, where you need all the tempo you can get. If you don't got tempo against Ljovynn, your goose is cooked. Heading into our next round. That is a serviceable hand, but I feel like he can do better. And he gets rewarded with another perfectly serviceable hand. I feel like if he doesn't, he has to play the Zipcaster if he doesn't draw something good. That is... He has to play the Zipcaster. I mean, you could play the screen, and that would work perfectly fine too. But I don't know, I don't like it. So I believe we are going down the road of self-assured to destruction here. The end parry does exquisitely fit. Grants a special too, which is just a really nice play. Ljovynn is going to steal eel down. And yes, we are, chat, we have entered self-assured destruction. That is a very nice Ursine anomaly into Ljovynn's base. Ljovynn trying to stop it. A very powerful Wellstring. Does the steel eel fit? I don't think the steel eel fits in there. Oh, but the Splat Bomb actually would. Making the call to go for a defensive move instead. Trying to stop with the oversized Octopod. I feel like the other side is safer, but the way he's considering, he does want as much space as possible to be able to try to perform a combo and get some special off of this. Ooh, but the tank is just gonna take all of it away no matter what he does. Going for the next optimal space. Catches it with the steel eel. Saps away a bit of Marina strength. And yeah, he sees the opportunity. Can get a special. Ooh, there is actually some interest? No, they're not that great. There's nothing that great. That doesn't even grant the special either. You could go for the special. That's not granting it either. I think you just need to go for the aggression. You just need to go for the aggression here. Goes for the pass. Power Climb wouldn't fit up there. I would have been blocked out by the ballpoint. Truly unfortunate. But okay, it looks like he's given up. Kind of just in a very awkward place and did not feel confident in being able to bring things back, and can't really fault the guy when you're 16 points behind. 16 points is quite the deficit to be bricking at. So game 2 goes to Ljovynn. Excellent catch, excellent, solid plays. The self-assured destruction just worked out a little bit better for him with that crab tank just absolutely crashing him out, crashing Aaron out entirely. It's so easy to think of that you can only play your 312s. It's so easy to mentally lock into the idea 312s need to be your specials, your big finales. But when you do that, you forget about plays that both of them had to make that kept Aaron in the game. And then Ljovynn was able to log out with just a casual crab tank. It had so much reach, it did so much damage. Heading into our next game, Flames are going in for the defense here. Excellent catch! Reading out what Ljovynn might have been seeking and blocking him down. We don't have a way for Aaron necessarily to break in yet. He is still fishing for something. But alternatively, just making sure that Ljovynn cannot break into his base is also very much a win. Actually, would have... Yeah, no, that blaster he has would have probably been a much better play. Would have granted him a special, too. Unless he has a different combo he's thinking of using that for. Most likely that's the case. That I see whenever something like that happens, where I'm like, well, you do have a better play right here. Why didn't you go for it? And it's probably because he's going to use it for something else. It's an important combo tool. And unfortunately for Aaron, I say unfortunately, he is forced into a place where he doesn't have any good, like, aggressive plays he can make. But he can do a darn good job of base building right now. And darn tootin', that's what he's gonna do. As he starts filling up his board with exquisitely crafted pieces with this deck. Just a very clean deck. Look how well he's filling up his space. Ljovynn has so much more room, and despite that... Oh, okay, yeah, I see. Despite that, oh, okay, I see exactly what we're going for. Like, one of the stringers are supposed to go into that corner. So, this is a situation where Aaron recognized that the best call is just to focus on base building, which he used his base building defensively in a way where he's not being passive. And you can see how that kept him into the game. And giving him the chance to catch this past Pearl. Oh, Krusty Shot. No, Krusty Shot doesn't fit, but Ljovynn is surrendering. I think that might have been an overeager. Like, Aaron could have played one of his cards. Would it have been a good play, or would it have been better for it to stay with base building? Ljovynn might have actually been safe there. But getting caught out like that is enough to get Ljovynn to just surrender. And full respect there. But that might have been a game that Ljovynn actually still had. Which is the interesting thing, and why it's so easy to be like... I say don't surrender turn one, but also like... Or don't surrender so early, but we saw so many games where I was like, the game's over. And I like to talk like I know what I'm doing. Oh! He gets the same play and completely shuts down Ljovynn's aggression. This is his chance to go in for a counter. What is Ljovynn gonna do? What is he going to be able to do to pull out of this? He gets an excellent read on defense. Absolutely phenomenal. And we're back to square one. We're doing the base building again. Aaron has all the pieces. Aaron has the exact same space that he wants to do his base building that he did last time. Trying to set up a special. That is a very scary special. And Aaron does not have any of the pieces he wants to be able to stop this. If Ljovynn gets the special he needs, he's got the special. He might be able to go in for disruption. There is the Maws, but I think that might be too little too late. it's not going to be able to... That special block is not going to be able to defend if Ljovynn has a special he can play to just rush in. He does. It leads into a clash. Okay, no, the position he found would have been able to break through regardless. So that ultimately turned into a better play for Aaron. But even then, very good damage done by Ljovynn. We do have a way in. Aaron is considering his options. What is the best way to kind of fight Ljovynn tooth for tooth? I don't think Ljovynn would have a good way to take advantage of this opening he made, though. Oh, he does! He gets the S-Blast right where the blaster that Aaron would be looking for would be. And now we are finally heading into self-assured destruction. Tower climb coming in, nice defense, but unfortunately, there's still a lot of room. He's gonna go for his own space here. Ends up getting read out, does get his 2 specials, which is actually kind of worth it. And he does have a play with the ink brush, so the scrapper was not needed, and he is going to be able to capitalize on this space anyways. This is a perfectly serviceable ink brush. And it's gonna do some nice impact. Looking at the state, Aaron is in the lead with 14 points. Ljovynn special lead 1. That is not a huge tempo, but I mean with 3 turns left, it would not be hard for Ljovynn to get 2 more special. Where Aaron is in a position where it would be difficult for him to potentially get 3 more special. I mean, we have also seen some 312s already played as well, which means that resources are a lot more sparse. Aaron is he's passing here, and his final big move is going to be the ink line. There's the 3 special. Ljovynn has the lead. Ljovynn might have this. That's a perfect ink line. That is 22 points. But that's a perfect Zipcaster! Ljovynn with 4-point lead ties the score. Both players have now won on these 2 stages that they've both been on equally once. Do we go back to one of them to see who truly claims it? Ljovynn is like, oh yeah, you beat me here. But it's actually my stage. Let me show you. And takes him out the second time. Heading into our final stage, we are going to Thunder Point. We're going to the head of this bout. Of this mighty, thunderous clash. Both players looking for a single war win. Aaron has a very serviceable opening hand here. Shiver, Marina, and then Tri-Strainer are all very strong cards to start things off. Do a lot of damage, have a lot of reach, really strong defense as well. And just fills up the board. Going in for an aggressive Shiver. We do also have the Steel Eel as the next draw, which is such a good top deck. Such a good top deck for this moment. Again, another strong defensive card, but more importantly, an aggressive card. Like, it's going to work super well for reaching in, and if it comes to self-assured destruction, that self-assured destruction is going to be met. Ljovynn thinking carefully. There are so many options, so many ways to take this. and he is going to go for aggression of his own. Incredible reach with that Ursine Anomaly. Look how it just perfectly sets itself up around that Pearl. Or no, Marina. Like, that is very, like, it's not necessarily defending anything, but it makes sure that Ljovynn has a very good way to kind of press. And if Aaron was playing defensively, it either would have failed or he would have had to make a very defensive play. Which means that that's a very clean forward for him. Aaron is quickly suffocating Ljovynn's base. But Ljovynn actually doing a very solid job himself. Caught out by a perfect position from the Tri-Strainer. But even then, like, that's not game losing for Ljovynn. Ljovynn still has a lot of his base. And he also has a section carved out because of the Forge. That, like, these plays are rough, but he's not out of this. He still has a lot of bite. He has a lot of kick. As Aaron continues to just make good play after good play. Continuing this pressure, continuing this tempo. Demonstrating why Aaron is one of the best Tableturf players out there. You fear, you respect his name. Looking for a tentative position. Not necessarily anything too phenomenal, but still decent. Going for an early splatter screen needs to be... You see that Aaron is trying to position it in a way where it's not going to be easy for Ljovynn to just get the 24 points later on, because he knows Ljovynn has a splatter color screen of his own. So this is both disruption, and he wants to position in a way where Ljovynn just doesn't get this for free later. If he does make the call. So I imagine he is praying here for Ljovynn to make a play that overwrites something. And he doesn't. That's 24 points right there. Didn't even get the disruption he was hoping for. So that is very scary. I think that... I wouldn't surrender off of that. Aaron still has a huge point lead. But the final turn is always going to be Ljovynn dropping a splatter color screen on that point. So Aaron needs to have more than a 24-point lead after his final move to win. Unless Ljovynn does not have splatter screen. Or he prays that Ljovynn's forgotten, but that's not Ljovynn's style. I do not see Ljovynn forget about that spot. Like, right now... Like, if this was... Like, Ljovynn is technically in the lead. It doesn't look like it. Ljovynn is technically in the lead by a single point. Having to make a pass here is very unfortunate, but with the current board state, there's not really much else you could do, and Aaron really needs special for the final 3 turns. He's already used one of his 312s. Needs the other 312. Might even want to have, like, that splatter shot combo into another play. Now Ljovynn's in the lead by 3 points. Well, he can pass one more time. Chooses to pass the 10-10. I feel like he needs that. I think he just lost. I think he lost by passing on the 10-10. Unless he has something else. I didn't look at his deck as thoroughly. But I think that's his only 3 special play that's not the 312. He needed to play that. He needed to pass something else. Special that. Is there anywhere where he can get 3 special? No. I would still, like, passing on that is probably the mistake. Like, one of the mistake. He's gonna pass again. Has no choice. Ljovynn is in the lead by 3 points. If Ljovynn can get, like, a serviceable play here, which he's got the special for. He can play a 5 special move, get 1 special off of it, and the game's over. Because he just needs that spot. He is holding on, praying that Ljovynn does not have an answer, and Ljovynn's just playing this patiently. Ljovynn knows exactly what he needs to do to win. Like, ultimately, that splatter shot would not have been able to do anything. As much as I want... He passed. What is Ljovynn going to do? Does Ljovynn not have a splatter screen? Did he time out? What? Did he not have a splatter screen?